Welcome everybody to the British round of the Formula FG Championship hosted by Race Department. I'm Aidan Keranen and I'm back in the commentary box with nobody in sight, as we tried very hard but we couldn't get anybody. Just couldn't make it work, which is a bit of a shame because now everyone has to put up with just me. But it could be worse, it could be another silent race, and it could have been out of sync. So, in the end, it's fine. Nonetheless, a fantastic weekend of racing so far. Jack Hunsley is on pole, by the skin of his teeth if I be honest. A very close qualifying session, something we haven't seen for a while. Pablo Deal on the front row. 600ths of a second, not very much. Rinyaho, Utsa, once again, stock standard front two rows. Foro, Engbrink, row 3, I'll be enjoying that one, see how that goes. Harvey, a very good effort to get into 7th. Sigalakis, Nowak. Wow. McNamara, Lindner and Bona. I mean, wow, very interesting, very interesting. This will be a good round. I'm really not sure. From after the podium, I reckon it could be an open slather, but nonetheless, it's a 100% race. Something that hasn't been telecast since Australia, I believe, and something that hasn't been done since Monaco, but enough about that because that wasn't very fun. It's going to be a dry race, so Andy Black should be in for a good one because he's no longer Dutch. Hey. Anyway, we'll head over now to the grid. Here we go, the British round Formula FG Championship. And here we are on the grid then. Jack Hunsley staring towards the first corner. Can he win his home Grand Prix? And we're going to find out now. Lights are out. Rinyaho moves up into 2nd through the first corner. Deal under a bit of pressure from Utsa. Foro holds Engbrink, Harvey, Sigalakis, Nowak, McNamara, Lindner, Saeed moves up. Now then, Rinyaho under pressure here from Deal. He's going to hold around the outside, I do believe. Hunsley's gotten away. Utsa and Foro. Close but no cigar there for the German that wasn't in front of the other German. Keranen there, he's moved up a position. Hunsley though, he's got himself 1.2 seconds on his teammate. So far, so good for the British ace. Only 2 drivers have gotten a home Grand Prix. Hey, here's Foro. He's got Engbrink looking up the inside. Not able to get past. Engbrink though still looking. Foro creating a bit of a traffic jam. Even Nowak's been able to latch onto the back of it now. McNamara there. I think Lindner might have just fluffed up a bit there. As we see an absolute massive group. Burners, new Entech Given all the flashy signs at the moment. Obviously, an extremely shiny coat of paint put onto that car. Possibly looking for a slight advantage, not sure if they're gaining it. Hunsley though, fastest lap of the race. Under control, McNamara having a look at Nowak at the first corner. I don't think he's gotten it done. No, he hasn't. Andy Black, bit of a struggle there. Overtaken twice. There's no problem there for Black at all. Very interesting. There's a top 10 movement so far. Engbrink has actually moved down. It's actually Sigulakis that's attacking Foro. Michael Saga here, he's got Rautavaara ahead of him. Rautavaara's moved a long way backwards. He's gone back 4 spots in first 3 laps. Looks to be struggling. Here's someone that's not struggling. Jack Hunsley, 2.8 seconds. Pulling away like there's no tomorrow. He's probably looking for overlaps. Massive fastest lap there is Engbrink on one of the home drivers. Nice slick move, gets it done. Here's Utsa. Utsa's now moved into second place. We'll go to try and find that. And a very nice move there at the end of the straight. Gets it done. And well, that's Utsa. But something happened to Deal. Or is he? No, he was down there anyway, wasn't he? On board here with Rob Sharp. He's moved up 2 spots so far. Coming to the start of the 5th lap. Hunsley leading. Rinyaho trying to stick with Utsa. He's seemingly got Deal completely covered behind him. Here's McNamara still in 10th. Got Lintner. He's got both of the N-Techs right there. Both of the new N-Techs looking nice, too, I might add. Lintner here, going to have a look. I think he's got it done before the corner's even there. McNamara though holding on the outside. Fantastic move there from the Australian. We can see it in the background as we look at Josh Nowak. And then the N-Techs having a look at each other, and that's just done a really good job of slowing them both down. Faro there, having a look. Ooh, Barrett. And I just realised that in my qualifying report, I forgot Tom Barrett. I do apologise, Tom. you are in your home race as well. Yes, bit silly of me. I'll put that in. I'll put that in before anyone notices. Hopefully. Sigalakis here though. Bright red and green speedy Ferraris. Oh, and in the background there, that's shaping up to be a fantastic bite down the straight. Deal. Foro's going to have a look. Gets up the inside. Nicely done. Harvey, meanwhile, having a look around the outside of Jaws. He's got it done. Fantastic move. I think I can hear the crowd going wild. Meanwhile, in the background, McNamara's gone past Nowak, who's now under pressure from Lintner. Doesn't seem to be a problem there with the Elite 2 car. Back to the front with Hunsley. 4.3 seconds, 4.4-ish. Very strong so far. Here's Dovizioso. And he's gone off at the first corner. Many bounces. Seems to be okay. He's got no front wing though. And that's not an over-exaggeration. There is no front wing. Meanwhile, Rautavaara must have gone off at some stage, because he's just gone past. He was a long way behind. Dimas here, he's going to have a look at Karanen. And he won't be able to get it done. Hunsley taking it cautiously. He's probably got it, probably still driving within himself. Even a 4.7 seconds ahead of Utsa. You know, that's already starting to look like a race-winning margin after only 8 laps. Well, it's down to 4.2 now, actually. Here's Sigalakis, and now what is going on with Pablo Deal here? I mean, qualifies on the front row. He's now down into 6th. I think it's going to be 7th. Maybe, though. There is a lot of angry cars there. A lot of ducking and weaving. Harvey and McNamara slowing each other down. Engbrink must have snuck past Harvey. There's McNamara having a look. We'll watch Utsa. Dovizioso is into the pit lane. Fair enough, that sort of makes sense. McNamara there has moved up a position, and there goes one of the N-Techs. That would be Lintner down the inside. Good move. And so Lintner puts his N-Tech into the top 10. He's got himself Nowak behind and Harvey ahead. As we continue to see this fantastic battle, Pablo Deal, I mean, he did go off in the second practice, I believe. Something went wrong and he ended up in 17th position for that. So I wonder if maybe there was a bit of a gremlin with the car and it's rearing its head again here during the race as Engbrink gets held up. McNamara now having a look. We're going to tell the television cameras what to look at. We want to see more of this battle. Here we go, 3 wide down the straight. And it's going to be McNamara that's going to sneak down the inside of both of them. Fantastic move. Lintner's gone up the inside of Harvey. He's falling backwards. He's got Noack having a look there. Engbrink has not ended up getting past Deal. McNamara's been released now. Deal's still struggling a lot. Engbrink lacking the bite, if you excuse the pun there, just to get past. Lintner smells an overtake. Harvey's now in 10th. He's got Noack. Oh, hello. And that's Deal running off the circuit there. We'll have a look at that again. Watching on board, he's just put it wide. Noack wrongly believes that the best way to overtake Deal is to go through him. I think more than anyone, I think that's impacted Saeed a bit more than the others. I mean, okay, sure enough, Noack loses positions and, well, Deal went off the circuit, fair enough. Of course, that's going to impact him. Deal, though, does seem to be running with a hell of a lot of fuel, which would explain quite a bit. But Saeed, I think he was held up in all of that. Hunsley, meanwhile, still got 4.7 seconds. Back to Utsa. Here we go. There we don't go. There's Noack having a look at Deal. We're back here with Keranen. Saeed was having a little bit of a look. Don't think anything was doing. Chaco here. P12, not too bad. You'd love it to get back into the top 10, though times have been tough for the entire Monster team. Dimas there, holding off Ockelsager. Back to the front though with Utsa, back to the middle with Deal, the other BRT. Slightly ahead of that, Lintner and Harvey. Harvey takes the inside. Very good move. Harvey and Lintner, of course, are both rookies, but Harvey is not as much of a rookie as Lintner, if you catch my drift. Deal there, still doing a good job of holding back everyone behind him. It's out to 5 seconds now. Utsa, well, Hunsley ahead of Utsa. It's almost the same gap back to Rinyaho. Here's Noack, still looking at Deal, still finding no way past. Here's Lintner. Not sure if there's something wrong there, but he's just seemed to have the wind knocked out of him. He's just fallen behind a bit. He's fallen a long way behind Harvey. And Deal's catching him. And when well, Noack's going to have a look. Noack gets the job done. Here's Deal. He's going to be, yep, he's been overtaken by the monster. He's got Saeed now. He's been overtaken by Rob Sharp. Rob Sharp going to have a look to see if he can get the best, one of the best results he's gotten all season. He's up into 12th in the first stint in his home Grand Prix. Deal now tasked with keeping Saeed behind. There's Barrett. He's got Keranen behind. Keranen seemingly very well fueled, but has managed to move up 7 positions in this first stint. Meanwhile, Deal seems to have had an absolute shocker of a first corner. Of course, earlier in the season, 2KF1 did trial very heavy fuel loads in some races. Hence you can see Keranen has moved up a bit. BRT, well, they definitely tried in Brazil where it didn't really work for Utsa as compared to Deal, but clearly reacting to the car a lot very differently. As Deal, no, Saeed's fallen backwards at some stage. He's fallen 2 spots backwards. He's no longer. Oh, hello. Somebody seems to have gone off, and it's Lindner, and that's a heavy blow by the looks of it. It's taken off the rear wheel. What's happened here? Whoopsie daisies, and ooh, heavy crunch there for the Hungarian rookie from 9th position. That is a massive shame for him and his team. A lot of hard work put into the new NTEC car, and rather unfortunately it won't be Lindner who'll be able to show it off. So the first retirement of the day, nearly a quarter of the way through the race, Christian Lindner for NTEC. Meanwhile, Dovizioso might actually... No, I don't think he'll get to the scene of the accident quite in time before... Not quite. Not quite. He was about 10 meters short, maybe. 5? He was a 15th of a measuring unit short of getting past Lindner before the car was taken away completely. Meanwhile, Berner, he's seen his teammate rear-end the wall heavily, though he's still charging onwards. Meanwhile, there's Keranen. Now, what's happened to Saeed? No problem for him. Remarkable. Something's happened to him. Just held up and hung out to dry was the Turkish ace. Meanwhile, we won't stick with Rinyaho, as we'll stick with Deal, who has lost 5.5 seconds to Rob Sharp. Now, BRT made a mistake here with what can only be assumed is a single stop strategy. If they are, in fact, looking for a 2-stop strategy, that is a very risky way to do it. Berner here. Up the inside of the 3-time winner this season and runs it wide. Deal comes back. Fantastic class there as Barrett sneaks by. Keranen unable to make any headwind as Saeed's going to drive around the outside. Both the Vipers having a look. Meanwhile, further up the field, Sigalakis and McNamara Sigulakis holds the position. There is a rumour that those two may be sharing a similar coloured car next season. Whether that is to be believed, well, who knows? Here's Rob Sharp. So far, very good race for him. Ooh, deal. Bit of a lock up there. As Barrett, by the sounds of it, is going to be having a look up the inside, and he does so. British rookie moves up into 12th place, not too bad. Saeed ahead of Keranen. Holds it as Burner starts flashing around. Very sparkly in the British sunlight. Hunsley, meanwhile, he senses he can get an overtake, and he's still going to be leading the race. The overlap possibility has begun. Lap 17, he senses it. He can see Dovizioso, who is 30 seconds behind Rautavaara. You do feel sorry for him. It's not gone to plan this race. Dovizioso going off at the first corner. Grigneho, meanwhile not. Burner having a look up the inside, I think. Sigulakis, meanwhile, was there a collision between the two? McNamara goes through, but Sigulakis had a massive lockup. Ooh. Nope. Was not even close to contact. And so McNamara sneaks through into 5th place for 2KF1. Hunting down Zenforo. Sigulakis moves back into P6 with Engbrink behind by a few seconds. Saeed still can't find his way past that BRT Lamborghini. Saeed is, of course, a very experienced driver in the Grand Prix 4 careers. Won the first F1 race in '88 for Lotus. And he'll have a look. Oh, and there is a very large collision. Barrett and Keranen. We'll have a look at that one again. Wow. We'll have a look from Barrett's view. Not to be biased, but I think I know where the fault lays. Yeah, well. He did make a slight mistake there, I think. Just got the curb, pushed him wide straight into Keranen. More than anything, it just hurts Keranen now. He's doing very well with the strategy that he's on. Moved up nicely. Just loses some time, and it's hard to know just how that's going to affect where his race goes from there. There's Hunsley expecting to pit soon. Meanwhile, that's ironic, isn't it? Tom Barrett doesn't make it half the lap after colliding with Aidan Keranen, and his engine's smoking. And that will be his British Grand Prix done and dusted. Massive shame for the British rookie. An engine failure. Cruel more than anything. As Dovizioso continues to lead Hunsley. Only it's the other way around if you really think about it. And meanwhile, what's happened here? Rob Sharp's gone off. Bouncing around quite a lot. Loses his front wing. And I think his car has given up the ghost there. And no, it has not, in fact. He's found reverse. Out of the gravel trap. No front wing though, which is a massive shame for Rob Sharp. He was running in at, well, I believe it was 11th. Could have been better even before that, but now it's going to be another long race for him as well, for him and his Evo GP team. Things just haven't gone their way recently. Meanwhile, Hunsley leads by 7.3 seconds over Utah. He's just monstered this first stint. Engbrink here on the back of his teammate Sigalakis. And so far, we've had 2 rookies as the retirements in the British Grand Prix. Black there having a look up the inside of Deal. No dice. As by the looks of it, Ockelsager might be coming in this lap. And Hunsley too. And that is the second monster Mercedes on fire. He is going to ironically be extremely close to where his teammate retired and was pushed off. If I have a funny feeling those marshals are going to put them right next to each other. But there you have it. Both Mercedes engines in the monster cars have given up the ghost entirely. And that is a long run for that poor marshal. I wonder if it's Jim. If it is Jim. Hey Jim. Got a nice running style. Utsa meanwhile leads the race as we'll have a look back. And there's Jack Hunsley, 7th place now. He has, though, of course, pitted. Here's Rob Sharp. He's already a lap down, but he's taken his pit, so... And he's pressuring the speedies. They've all got Ferrari engines. They're all friends here. We're all friends, guys. No problems. Sigalakis has been overtaken by Engbrink. Up ahead, McNamara is now really piling the pressure on Zenforo. Dimas pops out of the pits and is overtaken by Dovizioso. Dovizioso, who must have been feeling pretty good about himself. Looked like he was leading the race, but he's actually in danger of getting lapped. Now actually gets to overtake someone. Probably wasn't thinking he'd get that chance when he put a car into the wall. Meanwhile, into the yellow flag zone, here goes Utsa, and Barrett is nowhere to be seen. Nowak has pitted. And so there are cars all over the circuit, and I've got no idea what is really going on, except that I do know Utsa is leading this race. McNamara has passed Foro, as the telemetry shows down the bottom there. And so things are now starting to get interesting, as they might say. McNamara here, he's 9.2 seconds off Rinyaho, and he's pitting right now. So he's gotten past Foro and straight into the pits. Get some new tyres and more fuel. Foro though, he's going to have to worry because his grid row partner is now sneaking up behind him. Here comes Jaws.
Pit at the end of this lap.
Who's going to pit, it seems? Foro won't be. Utsa will be. So Utsa now, he'll come in, and this will be interesting to see where will he pop out as compared to Jack Hunsley. Will he be a bit closer? Will he be a bit further? And there's Thomas Ockelsager now. He's... what has he done there? Is he had a failure? Is suspension, if I saw correctly there. Massive shame there. Trialing the slightly updated Viper. Didn't seem to do him much good. Rather sadly. Suspension failure, and there we are. And so now we're starting to lose them like flies. Engbrink's into the pit lane. Foro is 9.5 seconds behind Rinyaho in second place, so... well, yeah, you probably wouldn't have bet that before today. But nonetheless, it's not been too bad a drive from the German. Pink helmet. He's driven nicely. McNamara, boy, leaves Engbrink for dust. Goodness. I don't know if that's brave, stupid, or if his balls are stuck in the cockpit. Absolutely wedged. That's how big they are. Jesus. Meanwhile, Deal and Keranen, both on the fuel to the end. Well, fuel as much as you can run. Find each other. They're destined to meet each other. Rinyaho in the pits. Foro in the pits. Sigulakis in the pits. Sigulakis was really going low on his fuel by the looks of it. Interesting noise to hear. But Hunsley's got 4.5 seconds to Utsa. Rinyaho is back out on track. Saeed, meanwhile, he'll be pitting at the end of this lap. He'll be going pretty low. Here's Foro. Just gets to the corner before McNamara. Forrest stays to the outside, and McNamara goes through. Good move there from the Australian. And a very important move to get past Foro as quickly as possible. There's the stricken monster in the background. Sigulakis, meanwhile, back ahead of Engbrink. Both of them, well, Engbrink, you know, he's He got past Sigilakis, he got past Foro, and now he's got all that work to do again. Meanwhile, there's Keranen, and he's got past Deal pretty quickly. Not to be, you know, cocky or anything, but it seemingly happened. Meanwhile, we'll go back further towards the front. Rinyo here. Andy Black having a look at Dovizioso. Nothing really happening. Battle for 15th. Here's Rautavaara and Harvey. Two Apex cars battling it out. No doubt who it's probably going to be the one that gets to make the pit call for the final stint. It's going to be whoever's leading, so it's quite important for these two. Here we go. And Harvey up the inside there of Rautavaara. Good move. Is Black. I think he's... Yes, he's going to get it. Dovizioso just runs a tad too wide. Gets a bit on the grass, has to back off. Andy Black goes through for the position. Here's Rob Sharp. He's getting told to get out of the way. He's got the blue flags waving. He doesn't seem to have done it. He's holding up Utsa there by the looks of it. British Racing Drivers Club. Team orders. Hold back the German. Possibly. Possibly. As we near halfway, Hunsley, 3.3 seconds to Utsa. I think that might grow a tad, as Utsa still had to get past Rob Sharp. Meanwhile, Harvey caught up to Deal very quickly. Tyres must be absolutely screaming on that BRT. And the 2KF1 ahead of it, if I be honest. Here is Utsa, 3 seconds to Hunsley. He's catching a little bit. Could be setting up a very, very interesting final stint. Here is Hunsley, still holding 3 seconds. Harvey. Up the inside, he's getting it done, he's getting it done, he's getting it done. Where's Deal? Dive bombing back up the inside of the next corner. Good racing from both of them. Utsa making little ground now. Perhaps just taken the edge off his Michelins. Rautavaara here, he's fallen behind Nowak. Now, I'm not sure if he's on a vastly different strategy to Harvey, but he dropped Harvey, and he's now nearly, he's 4.5 seconds behind where Harvey is. Perhaps something not quite right there on that Apex car. Rinyaho. He's 12 and a half seconds behind Utsa. He's got 8.4 to McNamara. Driving in a semi-British and British-sponsored car is Rinyaho, but he's got the Commonwealth driver McNamara catching him, seemingly, though we'll find out at the next... Well, we may have found out. We won't at the moment. Deal overtaken by Harvey. This strategy just does not seem to be working for BRT. He's lacked the pace and he's found himself now a long way behind where he should have been. Here's Hunsley, he's just overlapped. Well, I'm guessing that would have to be Dovizioso. Looks like Dovizioso is really having a good go. He's getting some good sponsor time for the sponsors on his car. Looks pretty good. The Elite 2 jostling for the lead. Not really, he's actually a lap down. But never mind that. Rinyaho still holding 8.4 seconds to McNamara, so in fact the Australian is not catching him. As we are now over half, we have been over halfway for a bit. Dovizioso is having a look here to try and get himself unlapped, and that's just not going to work there, mate. Oh, actually it might. Probably not. Nonetheless, so with Jack Hunsley leading the race by 2.9 seconds, we will take our break. Be right back with the rest of the British Grand Prix.